Hey everybody, how you doing? Friday. Just wanted to send out a video. I was thinking about it, request from a long time ago, and then also I noticed that I've never shown anybody really the whole inside of the van up to date. It's been through a lot of renovations, both with the exterior stuff and interior. But tonight got to bed a little early, and so I thought I'd give you guys a slight tour of how this bad boy works out. So just the basics. It's a 1995 GMC Vandura. It's a 350 V8 electronic aspiration, so it's not carbureted. And basically it was gutted from just everything that was inside of it when I first bought it. It did have an attempt at a platform bed, but it didn't work out in the long run, so I had to swap it out. So anyways, enough talking on my part. So let me see, I'm not sure if oh, here we go. So I can flip that. Okay, so we'll start with the kitchen. So this is basically an attached unit to the door. These are both cargo doors, so they open up on both sides. This little area here flips out and locks in place, and that's usually where I'll eat. I'll have this down like so. Sorry if I'm moving around a lot. And that'll platform like that. Actually, let's try this. Sorry, hang tight. I didn't plan this very well, did I? Alright, so that's not really working out very well. Alright, let's try this again. So, this little area here is the step. Both chairs, both captain's chairs swivel 360. So I usually leave this one locked into place because all my clothes and things are in this unit here, and it's not really easy to move. The center console is mobile. It has 2 cup holders on the top here. This opens up, and I keep miscellaneous things inside, inverters, things like that. So a power inverter basically is how you can run your DC power or your cigarette lighter into an inverted AC power. So I can operate or charge my speakers, I can run the TV, I can do all that when the car is running. Or if I want to run it off the battery, which wouldn't last too long. The silver stuff that you're looking at, that's in the corners and the windows, is called Reflectix. It's basically an insulation barrier, and it helps with keeping the heat or cold, depending on what you're utilizing it for. So I'm running an air conditioner right now, so it helps with keeping the heat out. The trick to that is you have to have it 3/4 of an inch gapped from the surface that you're trying to make barrier. So if you guys are thinking about doing that for your vehicle, don't put it plush, or even when you're utilizing these, you guys, a lot of people have these for their front windshields. Keep it gapped 3/4 of an inch because that allows for optimal performance on that. As you can see, I haven't put a lot of money into the stereo system, as I prefer to look out the window and take part in everything that's I'm observing. This is my thermostat. So I have an interior thermostat and an exterior thermostat. I have a carrier unit on the back that holds my generator and fuel, additional water supplies, and tools for the vehicle. So that keeps a cabin temperature in there. Right now the generator is running, so if you look at this, the outside temperature inside the generator box is 81 degrees, which is totally cool. If it was to get up to say 105 or plus, then I'd have to worry about the generator overheating and shutting off. So I can keep an eye on that. This little thermostat here just helps me to monitor the air conditioning. As we're going through different climates, with the humidity and altitude, it can affect the way that the air conditioning unit runs. So I'm monitoring this to make sure that I don't have any issues with the compressor or the condenser, making sure that everything's working optimally. Right here is my favorite spot. These are my people. I got shots of Jim, Quan, Cassie, and Eric. There's one of me and Jules right there on the left, and then my grandma. That's my grandma right there. The middle one is of Heather and my uncle Dennis, and then on the end is my cousin Adam. And they stay there since very beginning of this vehicle. I just popped them in there, and they've been there ever since. So that kind of wraps up the front. Here's your passenger side seat. I have Yoli's little blanket, but she prefers usually to stay in her bed. This is where she snuggles up at night. She had a long day today. We had a lot of beach running, and although the temperatures were good and not a lot of humidity, she's pretty tired, pretty tuckered out. Apologize for the mess, but it's really hard to keep everything that you need within access points because you never know what you're going to need when it comes around. This right here, you can pick these up anywhere. This is called the Ion Explorer Outback. I utilize this one because it has 100-hour battery power, and it also is waterproof. Not water resistant, but waterproof. So you can actually go underwater with that if I had to. So if the speaker's outside, like the other night when I was in Maine, there's a little place called Lobster on the Rough, and it came down pouring buckets out there. But and the internet went down, so their stereo went down. So I pulled this out, brought it in, and even though it was getting wet by being on the floor, it didn't affect anything. I have an additional 3 gallons of water. I go through that probably every 4 to 5 days between cooking, brushing my teeth, and drinking water. It is potable, but the good thing about the East Coast is a lot of the areas that you're going to have potable water straight from the tap, unlike most of the places at home. So the house lights run on DC, so I try not to run those too often. I can put them on right now so that I have additional light. So these are running actually off the vehicle, whereas this light right here, the television, and the air conditioner in the back are all running off the generator at this time. So in the back is a box roughly 2 feet deep by 6 feet wide, and in that box has a 2,000 watt generator, as I explained before, my tools, all my chemicals and things like that. Oh, I'm sorry. Hey everybody, I was caught up in the moment. Hector, Serena, Vanessa, Janelle, Lena, how you guys all doing? Just kind of giving a little tour here. So this kitchen door swings out, so I can cook outside. And although my butane burner stove doesn't give off a lot of heat, sometimes it's nice just to open the space up and be able to cook outside and walk around. When I was in Nebraska, I opened this up one night when I was up on the hill, and it was really cool. I can you know, put all my servings and everything out, my trays, and then go like that. So I did have a pump sink here in this area here, and basically it's just a manual draw sink. It's exactly what it looks like. You just pump it by hand. There's a reservoir that's down inside of this cabinet that has a water supply, and the water comes up and then drops down into the sink. So the sink right now is doing some laundry, so there's some water in here. But it's just a normal bowl sink. I actually made it myself. It's just a mixing bowl. I pilot hole the center out at the bottom and put myself in a drain. So this drains not to atmosphere, not down through the ground or anything like that. There's actually another catch can in here. A lot of van dwellers will just let it drain out to the ground, but I prefer to know where my water goes just in case, and I don't think it's cool to just drop it anywhere. So anyways, my cousin Eric and I put this one together right before I shot out, but it works really well. You do need to lock your doors though, because even though the magnets are on there, but when you're taking turns and things like that, everything will pop out. Inside there is basically cooking utensils, knives, forks, things like that. Some ceramic plates, or not ceramic, some metal plates, cups, and MREs. I like to keep at least 4 to 5 days worth of food on me, So that way, if anything happens, you hunker down with bad weather or whatnot, or even if you're just feeling lazy, you don't feel like going out to cook it or going out to make anything or go out to buy anything, you can always make your own meals. So that's basically the kitchen. My closet. Okay, so over here, lower panel is mostly just miscellaneous tools. I got like peroxide, batteries, goggles, and these actually come in handy really well because sandstorms and things like that. My cousin Trevor and Jim and I and a couple buddies were out in Joshua Tree, and the wind picked up pretty bad, and you'd be amazed a lot of the time. This bowl here is Yoli's. So on the side you have your water and then your food, and this thing actually rises up. It's kind of hard to do with one hand, but this thing rises up, and this is where she carries all of her food. So there's dry and wet in there. This top drawer is her toys. This is her dresser drawer. So it has I have rubber gloves in there that usually stays down there, but just miscellaneous toys, boomerang, standard issue. I've got her her soaps. I've got a can of bear spray that my Uncle John gave me. Just miscellaneous stuff in there, mostly animal related. This drawer right here is the chonies and the socks and beanies. My hair's getting really long, so I kind of usually wear a hat or a beanie during the day. This is a book Jules got me. You only live once. I know, ironic, but it's really a great book. It's about a lot of recommended places based on time frames. So whether it's a minute, an hour, days, or weeks, and you can kind of design it. I've already found a few spots that I'm going to try to hit on the way home. Here's t-shirts, shirts like that, shorts and pants, shoes, towels and linens. So, and then in here is just some more miscellaneous tools and things like that. I like to have a lot of tools around. So speaker, I'm kind of a speaker obsessed because these are not only used, I hook it for surround sound for the TV when I actually do run it, but it just comes in really handy. I mean, there's a lot of rivers, lakes, boats, and activities that require good music, and this thing just goes for hours. And when you're out there, you don't have to carry an extra battery for your phone because you're already ready to go with this bad boy right here. So this is the original plate that came with this van. A lot of people don't know, but I actually purchased this in Yuma, Arizona. My buddy Phil and I, what's up, Phil? Shout out to Yuma, Arizona. One morning I gave him a call the night before and I said, hey man, you ready to go to Arizona? And we shot out there. We were out there by like 10 o'clock the next day, and actually looked at a different van, but ended up getting this one because it just spoke to me. It had a jazz tape in the cassette player, and just something about this van I had to have. Here's the vitamin section. We have Yoli's morning supplements, and then here's some of mine. I got my custom Buffalo cup holder, what do they call these? Yeah, cup holders. Those are Eric, and if you guys are interested in the design and or the style, these are really nice marble. They're awesome. Let me know and I'll let you know where to find them. Got your Blu-ray. This was mounted up behind the TV, but I don't really use it that often, so I packed it away. But tonight, since I had some time, I thought, hey, I'll watch a movie. So I've got Shawshank Redemption on deck, and I'll probably start that after this. These are just your remotes. So I have a TV. This one is a low energy efficient television. It'll actually run off the battery of the vehicle. So it's 12 volt. It's 22 inches and it's high def, and it's actually a smart TV as well, so I can pick up I can stream from my phone or anything like that. It really makes it really efficient. I kind of wish that I thought about it and got a DVD player attached to the back, but it's a learning process, and I don't really watch a lot of movies. I don't watch a lot of television, so tonight was just kind of, I usually put it on actually, and it'll play in the background and I'll read till I fall asleep, so it's not really a big deal. So anyways, the Blu-ray packs away pretty easy. So this is the TV remote, this is the Blu-ray remote, and then this is the air conditioning, which brings me to my next So the air conditioner is a 6500 BTU wall or window mount AC, and it works really well. It gets this cabin down. I mean, it's by remote, so I can drop the temperature as I like. There's an energy efficient setting. There's just a dehumidifier setting, which is really awesome. And it really works pretty well. It's not aesthetically pleasing like I wanted, but it definitely... Oops, sorry, messed up. It definitely does the job, and being back here where humidity's up in the 70-80 percentile and it can get up into the hundreds, it's a must-have for Yoli, because we like to keep our ladies nice and comfortable. Like right now, she is out just snoring away. You guys can't really hear her. So almost wrapping up, because I shouldn't run these lights too long on the battery of the car. This is just the miscellaneous stuff. I got some electrical components up here. This is my cousin Adam's hat, and this is probably the most important thing in this van. Anytime I have service done, there's two items that I take out of this van. If I have to take it to a mechanic, I could care less if they steal anything else, but I have some very important material in here, and these two items here are worth more than this van itself. Got some hair care products, hygiene, you know, it's a must. In here I just keep some oils and water, and it's kind of give it a spritz every once in a while to keep that lavender smell, keep things calm, get energy up in here. And that is my dirty clothes hamper. Yeah, nothing great about that. This little cord right here, you can kind of see, and right here is just some lights that I have. I can't turn them on right now because the little button pushed in, but these are just LEDs. Along the outside here are all LEDs, and if I don't want to run the generator and I don't want to run it off the card, it's enough to basically make my way around in the middle of the night. This is my reading lamp right here, so at night sometimes that's all I'll have. And then the bed. So right here is a full-size bed, and the pillows, if you guys are thinking about doing a renovation or anybody else is, I utilize the pillows up against the windows, and it acts as an insulation while I'm driving. It also leaves this space open. And get yourself a nice lightweight, good temp sleeping bag. This normally is laid out over the top, and then that's what Yoli will lay on, or if I need to lay material down, and it'll protect my linens from getting all gnarly during the week, because you don't always get to a laundromat, you know, every couple of days, so you want to make sure you keep everything nice and clean. And keeping the windows rolled up and trying to utilize the air conditioner will help, because you don't want all that sediment from the road making its way in onto your sheets. So this is a full-size bed. Underneath is a 4-inch memory foam mattress. So you have this foam, and then I have another cool foam pad, which is under here, but I'm not going to mess with it right now. It's a 2-inch cool foam, which is a little softer than the foam on the lower, and conforms to the body and also keeps the body temp cool, which is very important. You have to think temperature on a lot of these things. The reason why I went with a structured bed like this that doesn't articulate like the old bed that I had. The old bed was basically like kind of like a futon. This back area here, this part went on top, and it used a lot less room, and there was a little bit more room in the cabin, but if you think about it, all that underneath is storage. So I've got 3 totes that look like this red one here. And basically they're full. I mean, I've got tools, I've got camping gear, I've got my hiking gear, I've got like emergency response gear, and then I have an ice chest. And to be honest, I've only filled this ice chest full of ice like twice. Really, I just try to get by on dry goods, and those of you that know me know that I'm not really a huge foodie, so I'm not really nitpicky on what I eat. Today I think I had like 2 granola bars, and then I had actually I had lobster for dinner, but besides that I didn't really have a lot to eat. I'm pretty simple, so I don't like to waste a lot of time on cooking. MREs are great, but they are high in sodium, and they are kind of pricey. It can be like $7 a meal. So yeah, that's basically it. I got pretty much everything covered. On the back side of the kitchen, there is another area that actually folds out, so it kind of makes like a long table. On the outside of the van, there's not really too many bells and whistles. It's pretty simple. I have running boards. I had to put some new tires on the van in Missouri, and other than that, I did a water pump and a couple things. I did a transmission flush while I was on the road. I've done a couple oil changes, some exhaust patching. It's good to know, a little bit of mechanics. I'm not a pro, I'm not an expert mechanic, but I do know enough to be able to tell when it needs work, and that's kind of the bare bones that you need to be able to do, is be able to identify when you're having issues, whether it's transmission, oil pressure, temperatures, air conditioning, chassis, suspension. You want to be able to identify with those sounds, so that way you don't make the problem worse than it really is. The biggest hassle's been that carrier on the back. I wasn't a very good engineer. We did our best, and it looks good and it's functioning, but the arm that holds it when it swings out is just not quite strong enough for the capacity on it. I think that the manufacturer told me it was going to be a 500 pound payload that it could hold, but it's not even close to that. So anyways, that's Haven, which is the name of the van. Her name's Haven. That's Haven in a nutshell. She is not new, she is not fast, but she sure as hell does the job. I think I'm slowly approaching somewhere around 5,500 miles, and I've gone through some of the hardest terrains. I mean, open territory, hot, dry, humid. I mean, we've covered it all. I've done everything from Joshua Tree to North Carolina. So, I mean, she's done really well. I've had my concerns about a few things, but knock on wood, she's holding up. So, anywho, just thought I'd give you guys a peek as to my house for the last 3 or 4 months. I have been on the road for over 2, but been pretty much living out of her for about 4. I have been spending some time with family. Hey everybody, I wanted to thank everybody for letting me share time with you guys along the way. Cherie, Ty, the kids, Sarah, Scott, Laura, Tim, Danielle, TJ, April, boys, Alan, Noah, John, Pat. I mean, we've got a lot of families out there, or I've got a lot of family out there, and I'm really appreciative that was the point of this, is to kind of spend time and see everybody. And I just want to thank you for opening up your homes and spending time with me. So that's gonna conclude this portion. And anyways, cheers from whereabouts am I? I'm in Vermont. It's called White River Junction. Yeah, it's right on the New Hampshire border. And I apologize if I'm forgetting anybody or anything. Cass, Eric, you guys put your heart into helping me on this and allowing me to stay at the house. Mom, thanks for letting me use your driveway. And Phil, God bless you, man. Thank you for helping me even go get this thing. I wouldn't even be here if you didn't go that day. Well, I might be, but not in this beautiful rig. So anyways, thanks everybody, and have a great night. Be safe this weekend, and stay tuned, because although I have reached all the way east, I am only halfway done. because I still got to go home. So my plan is from here, I'll spend some time in Vermont, and then I'm going to start working my way towards Ohio, Westlake, Ohio. So I've got some time in between, and I'm going to take my time seeing everything. So, anywho, once again, thank you everyone for the support, for, saying, you can do it when I doubted myself, and thanks everybody for being there. Love you guys.